Hello, this is your captain speaking, and welcome to Life, the Universe, and Everything, your daily stream of consciousness resource. I'm Wonko. That's
I'm
Captain Cruise.
Iceman.
I'm Matt.
I'm the Pyrosaniac, whatever.
Pyrosaniac, whatever. I like that.
Pyrosaniac,
yeah,
whatever.
just
Got
whatever.
it.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
He's new to this series, but he's not new to
What?
anything else. Because we've been playing Minecraft for
Wait.
weeks.
I just clicked tab and I just realized it shows our faces next to our names. When did they implement that? That's amazing.
It is cool. I'm not sure when
I
they did
love that.
That was quite a while
I've
ago.
never seen that. Sorry.
Anyway, to what we talk. Oh yes, today we're talking about
Evil thing.
mobile phone encryption versus the US government.
Yeah.
General upshot is Apple and Google have both announced that in the next versions of their mobile operating system, all information's encrypted by default. And the FBI really doesn't like this because they say that it will get rid in the way of law enforcement efforts because they won't be able to hack people's phones.
Wonko, come here.
Yeah.
So basically,
Dude.
blatantly
Thanks.
saying they want to steal information.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not just that simple. If you got to look at it from a law enforcement's perspective, say that there's
There's reasons for it. No
yeah,
doubt.
like there are valid reasons. I can kind of agree with.
But it is
There
blatantly
are-
saying we want to spy on you.
Okay, no. But here's the thing. It's not that they want to spy on you. It's just in most cases, if there is something like where they suspect someone of doing something, they want to be able to look into it. And with Apple and Google doing this, they can still do that. They just need a warrant, which makes
not-
sense.
Not exactly. At least, I'm not sure about what Google's said. I don't think they've clarified it yet. But at least from Apple's side, they've said that they're going to encrypt it in a way that Apple themselves will have no way of accessing it.
Yes,
So,
that is the case.
I don't know how you can encrypt something, like you design it encryption, and then not be able to figure out what that is. That's saying like you're gonna make a program, but you're not gonna know how to use the program at all.
I think the method of encryption stays the same, but the key that unlocks everything is going to be randomly generated and unique to the device specifically.
There's
Or
always
maybe-
gonna be a way to solve it. Like it doesn't even matter if Apple makes this 100% like unencryptable, quote unquote, like part of the phone. Someone's gonna be able to do it.
You'd be surprised how powerful encryption is.
You'd be surprised how dedicated some individuals are.
It's not a matter of dedication. It's in terms of raw processing power.
Yeah, but I mean,
These things are using numbers so massively colossal and so many different possibilities that even a supercomputer could chug away at it for thousands of years. Possibility. I don't know the exact maths,
A very long period of time.
but
But
yes,
how can you just like say that it's all right for them to be? Because there's a lot of cases where, yes, privacy has been, what's the word?
Infringed upon?
Yeah, infringed. Thank you. Privacy of individuals have been infringed upon, but then there's also been cases where it's like, that's how they catch people, and that's how they stop things from happening. And I mean, there's always another means of them trying to figure out different things about people, regardless of whether it's through their mobile phones or something else. And everyone has a mobile phone nowadays. So if you have something where, like, if there's companies that are trying to make it so that no one can access the phone, including the law, like, I think it should be something where they can't access it unless they have a warrant or something like that, where they have like a legitimate
isn't that
concern.
current state of affairs though?
No, current state of affairs, I think it's not that. I think it's
It probably depends by regionality, doesn't it? Local laws.
maybe, but I know right now, and I think in general, it's just like if they find you suspicious, they can look into it without a warrant because it's government regulated stuff, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the important thing to remember here is there are some very not nice people whose phones deserve to be hacked, and
But if-
possibly there are lives that could be saved if you were to hack their
But if
phone.
you can get a warrant for it, then they'll be able to look into it anyways.
Yeah,
It prevents it from being misused as much.
Yeah, and that's what I think they should be trying to go for, so that they're showing everyone, look, we know we kind of like, we don't want to look into everything about your life, just the stuff if we think you're suspicious of. Because there's...
the problem with that, though, is governments will always have the power to look into your personal files and access them and violate your privacy. And the only thing stopping them in that situation is your faith in the government and the goodwill and trust of your own government, which is great in theory until Edward Snowden comes along and reveals that the NSA is just collecting metadata on everyone. And telephone records and all sorts of things that many people regard as a clear violation of privacy. So it almost feels like Apple and Google taking away the FBI's favorite toy because the US government's proved that they can't be trusted with that access.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's regulated as well as it should be.
It doesn't seem like it's regulated at all.
Or at all, yeah.
No, I think it needs to be kind of like, you can't just go into someone's house and search for stuff. You need to have a permission, which is in the form of a warrant.
A warrant, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Why shouldn't it be the same thing? You know,
Mhm.
someone can, I don't know, write down sensitive information on a piece of paper and store that in a desk in their house, and we
The
can't
problem
see
is the
that.
current state of affairs. You know, you've got secret courts in the US government who sign warrants that nobody in the public has access to or even the knowledge of, and these single warrants can affect large bands of people. So you don't need individual warrants. You can say, this warrant allows every person in this city to have their phone and files hacked if we think there's any reason at all, regardless of how flimsy it is.
And that just brings up an ethics conversation, or ethics, because we're wondering if can we just how open should the police force be? Should we be allowed to see everything they're doing? Because, you know, if we can, then sure, that's great, then they have nothing to hide. But sometimes they need to be able to hide that sensitive information for public protection.
Yes, and I know we're talking about cross purposes because the FBI isn't the NSA, but the NSA straight out lied to Congress. You know, the great big government body of people who were elected by the people, supposed to be representing the people, they were flat out lied to. So if you're not accountable to the democratically elected portion of your government, then you really have no place within a democratic government.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Honestly, the democratic portion of a government should be accountable to its citizens, and every other part of the government should be accountable to the democratically elected part. That's why we have a representative government in the first place.
Precisely.
But it
So-
doesn't always happen.
When you've got some security agency in the middle which is not accountable to anyone, no one seems to know what's going on, no one seems to have the power to do anything about it or get rid of it or even curb its powers. Yes, Snowden caused a bit of unrest, but that's gone away in the large part. A lot more complacency than there was a year ago.
Yeah, a lot of people are just kind of forgetting about it almost. So it doesn't really matter too much
Then
anymore.
again, that happens with like all media, does it not?
Yeah, I suppose that is.
An unfortunate fact, but
Yeah, it's the unfortunate bit here is that he took those actions, he leaked the information with the hopes of effecting some changes, which unfortunately doesn't really seem to be happening. We're quite a bit of time on and the situation's basically the same.
Mhm.
By the way,
Yes.
Yeah, if anyone wants to come help me at any point, dig this space out.
Is there any coal down there?
I've got a stack of coal if you want some.
Yay.
Where are you?
I'm coming down. Bonk, 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 bonk.
So
There we
there's
go.
the entrance.
Is this big enough for a storage room?
Almost. I'm planning to. And I'll keep it for myself. But
That's 9 coal. I thought, okay.
that was 8 actually.
Okay. Oh, okay, I had some, I guess, then.
But I'm planning to dig another 2 up and 1 down probably. And then
2
put
up
in,
and wait, 1 down?
yeah, to replace the floor.
Okay. Oh, to replace the full. Oh, okay. Because I'm
And then-
I'm going to try to link up that entrance down to here then.
Yeah, so it's going to be at this height.
Do you know where the middle is?
I'm pretty sure it's an odd number of blocks. I'm pretty sure that it's in line with the staircase, at least in one axis. I'll figure it out. Anyway, someone say something about
The encryption. Well, I don't know. I think there really is no right and wrong answer to this, because if we have a high amount of encryption, then the people who, like, there's situations where we need to get
be right
in
back,
and see
guys.
these. Oh, he's running away. Should I
Just keep
continue
going.
on my?
Yeah, just keep going. He has
Okay.
recording still.
Where was I? Oh yeah, there's situations we need to see this very sensitive information, like if there's a terrorist or something. That's just a crazy example. Then we will need to see that stuff.
I don't think it's that crazy of an example though, because I think that's a general threat, especially with like, say, groups like ISIS and even just attacks like 9/11 and everything. I know they always bring those single attacks up just because they're so extreme.
Well, crazy
but-
was the wrong word. I meant an extreme example.
Oh, okay. But see, I have a little bit of bias towards this as well, though, because I'm looking into going into the field of like forensics and everything, where to access someone's mobile phone, especially if you're looking into, say, terrorists or something, like just a general threat, and you suspect them of that general threat. As a forensics person, either analyst, like regardless of what field, you just want to be able to have access to some type of information where you're going to be able to solve something. And while that is violating their privacy, I'm sure there's a lot of people, well, if it was like they stopped, say, a terrorist attack someone, would they not be okay with that? Like, you would rather have your rights infringed so that they can stop a potential threat coming to your, like, doorstep, basically.
Then again, I'm not sure a huge issue is the fact that they're actually necessarily looking into your privacy. It's just like the fact, like the stuff with the NSA. Like if they end up leaking any of the information, like there is a possibility once you start looking into people's stuff, if you leak any of it as well, then that becomes a huge issue.
Yeah, that's
even bigger.
that's a problem
With leaks,
security.
that's not so focused on the actual, like, if there's an encryption, it's gonna stop leaks, but I'm sure, but there's leaks from just general people, like people leak things themselves, and I don't
No,
think,
but I mean like leaks that occur
Leaks
from violating that privacy.
I
That's where I could see issues arising.
I know there are cases reported in the middle of the Snowden leaks with individuals, hacking into the email accounts of, their spouses or their exes or various people who they had no. Oh, thanks.
I need it.
What, the stuff I put in the furnace? I'm cooking gold. Gold.
Do you have any more coal?
I've
Oh,
got
I
no
found some.
coal. That was all of it.
Just make some charcoal.
Jerk.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
You jerk.
Makes you feel better. I have coal now.
It doesn't, but thanks. But yeah, it looks like there's not a huge amount the FBI is going to do with it. I mean, no one's really going to stand around and let the US government outlaw encrypting things. Especially if the reason given is, oh, it's so that we can hack it. There might be situations in which it's a good idea, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah. The problem, which is what I was saying when you were gone, was that there are going to be situations when you need to see these things. Like, could we just theoretically have some sort of warrant where we force people, like this is the other there, force people to go into their own files and extract the evidence for the police? Is that possible, or?
Well, that's basically.
But then they could delete if they could just delete the information while they're doing that. Then
there is the risk. It's not
like,
it's not 100%.
And if you were a terrorist of any kind, you just say, okay, I'll do that for you. Delete all the the information that they want, and then just give them a blank hard drive.
Well, the easiest way to do that is take their phone, right, and then say, "Hey, you, give me the passcode." That's basically what you're talking about.
But then, that's then
the
you're
problem
infringing upon different rights there. That's like you're just.
You could say that's
Well, how's that any different to what Spyro was suggesting?
Well, what I'm saying is that if they don't, then wouldn't that be holding back evidence from the police, which is a federal offense?
Well, yeah, but you can do that already.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, but
the thing is, if they're not going to give you that information, then what you can do? What can you do? Lock them up?
Yeah, put more people in prison. That's just what you need.
I don't think we have enough people in prison yet.
No, need to fill more. Fill more prisons. More taxpayers' money put into prison stuff.
Prisons work, you know.
What?
Prisons are really effective.
They are actually incredibly effective.
Doing things. That's the point. What's the
They're
point of
effective in
prisons?
protecting criminals, and us paying for the protection of criminals.
Well, it seems to be that the point of a prison is to punish people. And really, if you think about it, that shouldn't really be the focus of a justice system, should it? It should be, you know, turning people into contributing members of society.
So rehabilitation is what you're saying.
Wow.
Rehabilitation and education. There might be some cases where, I mean, if they're so totally aggressive and crazy that there's nothing you can do for them in prison, then they should probably be in an insane asylum, shouldn't they? If there's no chance of rehabilitating them in any way whatsoever.
Well, the only thing is then you're putting... The only problem with that is that you're gonna have to turn the insane asylums into prisons. Like, they will be prisons. They will not be insane asylums. They will be prisons, and that's what prisons are. Is for the really psychotic people, but then also not only just the psychotic people, but also the people... See, the only bad thing with rehabilitating is that you can always just fake rehabilitation. There's no solid way to actually rehabilitate someone 100%, because it's easy. It's really easy to go back into a life of crime where you had it so good and just you've been already let out.
You
can just
speaking
say,
from
"Oh,
experience?"
no."
Okay, just wondering.
I'd just like to point out that we are digressing here slightly.
No.
Yeah, this is a very
It's my fault, so I admit
large
that.
tangent.
Tangents.
We should talk about prisons sometime.
Yes, we should.
Yeah, the prison.
And
life
also
we've
the
all been
death
through.
penalty. I'd
Oh,
love to talk about
I've been
that.
through that. Not a good thing.
No. We haven't talked about that.
Okay, let's not make...
I'm making
You've
it fun.
really got to start drawing a line of when it's appropriate for Matt to make fun of things.
I want to talk about the death penalty sometime.
Right now.
Right
I don't
now?
I
think
know.
the
Right now we're talking about
appropriate
encryption.
Let's just digress to a whole new subject.
Let's just finish encryption. Anyone got anything left to say on encryption?
It's good and bad at the same time, because
I think. Oh yeah, sorry. Continue. Because I didn't realize you were going on to because.
it's good because we get privacy. It will help decrease cybercrime and possibly hacking things. But then we have those times when we do actually need to see the sensitive information. So I really don't believe there's a right or wrong answer
Yeah.
as to whether encryption's a good thing or not.
Yeah, there's definitely situations for both sides, but it looks like it's happening and there's not much the US can do about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
My personal opinion is that it shouldn't happen, the encryption. Well, maybe it should, but I think it shouldn't be undecipherable or anything. Like, it should be able to be
Then
looked
what's the point of
into.
encryption?
But that's not
Well,
encrypted
but it's
anymore.
it's encryption based on, like, maybe only Apple's able to unencrypt it, or only Google has the capability. And if the government wants to look into it, they're gonna have to go and give them that warrant or something, like with the warrants again.
That's a good point.
Well, the problem
Yes,
is, what if there's someone
I
who wants
just
to
want-
snoop into your stuff and they work at Apple or something? Then they can
And
just go in.
especially since Google's entire business model is based off finding out about as much about you as possible so that they can target the best ads at you and make money.
Yep.
I just want to kind of touch on what Pyro said there, is that, like, what if someone from Apple wants to look into it? What's stopping anyone from Apple right now after they do the encryption from going into it? Even if it's randomly generated, whoever's programming that thing can make a backdoor into it for themselves. Like, you could become someone who makes millions of dollars from being able to say to the government behind closed doors, I programmed it.
Whoa,
And-
what happened there?
What?
A creeper just sprinted at me. Oh, that was the most
Oh.
terrifying thing I've ever seen.
Oh, did you have a second of lag and then he just ran to you?
And then he just ran straight back.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
Okay.
No problem.
goodbye. Wait, did he finish his point?
I don't know.
I might have interrupted him screaming out because of a creeper there.
We're gonna assume he finished his
So Matt, any final closing things?
I agree there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, but what did I just get hit by? Oh, sorry, distracted. But I believe more or less what Matt is saying. I think that would be better if the company that creates it has a way of undoing the encryption or some way to undo it. Yes, I'm not sure if it's possible, but that would be the ideal situation, I think, because then the government would have to go to the company and show a warrant that is not just a bunch of bogus.
And I have to say that I disagree because I don't trust Apple or Google at all.
Yeah, no, I don't necessarily trust them either. But then again, before this encryption, they could just access the files anyways. So at least this gives the possibility that the government won't, as well as Apple and Google.
I'm sorry, I just came back. What is the point on?
Just extending on your point.
Oh, okay.
He agrees with you, I disagree with you.
Yes.
It's your right.
Aw.
I continue to be indifferent.
High five, Matt. I'll give you a
High
carrot.
five!
Indifferent. Why do we bring you along?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. You have to choose a side. That's the rule of this.
You have to choose a side, really?
Yeah. No
Why
no
must I
Oh,
choose
no,
a
sympathy.
side?
you can be flippy floppy if you want.
No
No.
floppy.
Okay, apparently you can't.
Wow, okay.
This has now turned into a dictatorship where only me
Yeah.
and Matt's opinion matter.
Pretty much, yeah.
What were you
There
expecting?
should be
The
another
Matts will
topic,
rule the
dictatorships.
world.
And Canada rules the world. You guys never heard that song?
No.
I have, yes.
Anyway.
So, did anyone touch on the point of where I was talking about how, like, I know you guys said you touched on it, but I didn't really get to finish the thought of it, of someone just simply making, say, like, a black market in Apple, just because they know how to...
I highly doubt that a single person could get away with that. I don't know what Apple's structure is like for design elements, but I doubt one person would be able to put in a major backdoor and then not have anyone else notice it.
Well, but, like, I don't know how big these programming teams are. I imagine they're fairly large, especially seeing as Apple's such a large company. But there's always ways of just getting a single person. Like, the government could easily just pay off someone in Apple, like, even a group of people, because unfortunately, a lot of people are greedy. And
Really?
when there's... Yeah. I know. Big surprise.
Whoa.
Wait, what's that for? Hot topic. Construction. Oh.
That's for making a furnace.
Man,
Really?
how
There's
do I
an
distract you?
achievement?
The point of typing is so I don't distract you.
I didn't.
It doesn't work that way. You have to respond to it.
Yeah, that's what the point of typing is. You're trying to talk to people.
No.
By the
Yeah,
way,
it's not
who's
the
made
end.
off with all the lapis?
Oh, not me.
I need to enchant.
I needed it.
I need 3 pieces of lapis.
No, don't break it, don't break it, don't break it, don't break it.
I need.
Wait, I have it on me.
Is it?
Alright.
But I wanted to say
I need
my
3,
opinion.
please. Thanks.
No,
You're so
stick,
generous.
Stick. No, you took my sticks. No.
For goodness sake.
Yeah.
Have 2 extras.
Thanks. Sorry. Yeah. Back on topic.
Well,
Or
we
no,
should
our
wrap
topic
this
was
up.
yeah. Okay. We've been
Yeah,
talking for a
this
while.
is sitting at 30 minutes for me almost.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
I think
So
we.
yeah, controversial topic.
So, anyways, general final comment thing.
I already
Did we do
gave
that?
him.
No. You gotta do it again.
Oh. What? What's that?
That's a rule.
I should give
Well,
my
okay, well, what did we end out when we-
I see both positives and negatives to the situation.
Okay, Blanco.
I think encryption is generally a good thing, and there are probably other ways to find most of the information that is going to be hidden.
Matt.
Plus any of the
I
really
think
serious
encryption
crypto
can
people.
be a good thing, but I think there's a better way to go about this, like maybe making the company have a way to undo it. Not necessarily that is the correct way to do it, but somebody smarter than me will figure out the correct way.
All right. Well, I agree with what Matt said, except I think there's just ways around the encryption controversy, and that's what he's saying basically. So by my tally, that means me and Matt win.
Yep, I agree.
Because
Case
this
closed.
Alright.
Thanks for watching,
This is my
everybody.
series, remember, guys.
We can go make our own.
I'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.